A pair of Capitol Rioters out of the state of Ohio this week in court went around what their lawyer told them not to do and decided to use as a defense that they were in fact sovereign citizens and therefore the laws of the United States do not apply to them at all, which of course would mean you have to dismiss the charges against them, which they're facing 6 felony charges. Because, you know, even though we live in the United States itself is illegitimate, therefore you can't charge us with anything. Now, before I read you what the judge said, it is important to remember that the lawyer didn't want them to go to court and make this argument. You know, the lawyer probably wanted them to get a plea deal, I would imagine, because these individuals were seen in social media posts busting windows at the Capitol. So, you know, the evidence against them is overwhelming. They have not been convicted. Obviously, they've only been charged. They tried to get their case dismissed, claimed they were sovereign citizens, and here is what the judge said to that. Although represented by counsel, defendants have moved pro se to dismiss this case, raising a lot of arguments broadly connected to the sovereign citizen movement. After giving the defendants' arguments full consideration and upon consideration of the briefing, the relevant legal authorities, and the entire record, the court denies defendants' motion to dismiss. Now, the fact that the judge even says, like, listen, I considered it, you know, I thought about it for a minute, but then kinda did not agree with any of it, therefore you will stand trial. But I also love the fact that the judge points out that, look, you had a lawyer. The lawyer told you don't do this. You decided to do it anyway, so that's kind of on you. Now, if I were this lawyer, assuming it's not a public defender, of course, which I do not know if it is or not, but if it's a lawyer that these individuals hired, quit. Like, you need to get the hell out of there quickly because this is going to look real bad on your record. I mean, even if you are a public defender, I know you really can't quit, but that's still going to be a pretty big knock against your record that your clients did that. It's technically not your fault, but it's going to kind of go down as your fault. That's not fair to you, but it's just the way it is. Especially if you chose the case and weren't appointed to the case, which would be the instance of a public defender. Now, these 2 individuals, who I'm not going to name, because again, they have not been convicted, they've only been charged. They're not the first people to try to use the sovereign citizen's defense, and they're not the only people who've also had that defense fall flat. In fact, if my math is correct, every single person who has been charged with storming the Capitol that has used the sovereign citizen defense has in fact failed. And what gets me about this, like, this is the part I think is so hilarious, is when they went to court, the lawyer's like, please don't do this, and like, shut up, we're going to do it anyway. So they do it anyway. What did they think was going to happen? Like, that's what I want to know. I really would love to be able to get inside these people's heads, to just go through their thought process with them. Like, what did they think was going to happen? They were like conspiring together, this couple, because they're a couple. Like, okay, here we go. We're going to tell the judge we're sovereign citizens. He's totally going to buy it. We're getting off. Just trust me. All right, honey, you do it. Like, and then did they think the judge was going to be like, wow, you're telling me the U.S. is not a legitimate country? Oh, snap. Well, I guess I got to let you go. I had no idea. Thank you, defendants, for enlightening me about the fact that my very job here is technically illegal. I guess I'm going to resign now. Is that what you thought the judge was going to do? Because in order to uphold your motion, he would have to accept the fact that the United States is illegitimate, which is part of the tenet of being a sovereign citizen. So I'm sorry the judge didn't decide to rule that his own existence was illegal, and now you have to stand trial, all because you didn't listen to the guy that was smarter than you that actually went to law school. Hi everyone, this here is little Athena, and Athena would like to know why you haven't subscribed to Fair and Balanced yet, so please, don't let Athena down. Subscribe today.